This Epic Groupcast. I'm Anthony Kincart. I am joined today by Jeremy Gothrop. Jeremy, how was your day today? Anything exciting to talk about?
Today's my birthday.
It is your birthday. And yet you're wasting it with us.
I know.
I appreciate that. I'm glad I got to see you on your birthday.
Thanks. I'm not wasting it. You're my friends.
Aw,
I'm
that's
glad
sweet.
to be with you.
That's sweet.
That warms my heart.
I honestly didn't know if you'd make it today. Sitting next to him is Jordan Wiles. Jordan,
hello.
Anything going on with you? Not your birthday, right?
It's not my birthday,
That's
no.
sad. Can't be everyone's.
I'm like I've dove headfirst into the video game Destiny
Oh, really?
that Mr. Gorthap talked to me about several weeks ago, and finally got it and played it, and it's a lot of fun.
Is it?
It's a very enjoyable game.
Is this the one that you guys were worried about was going to be too much like Halo, or?
I was originally against it because I was just kind of over the Halo gameplay, how it looked, but I mean it's similar to, but it's different enough.
There are similarities, but the gameplay's not.
Yeah,
not
the gameplay is
near.
vastly different from what you would
really?
do in Halo. Yeah, but like the whole mechanics are there, but I guess whenever I didn't like Halo, I didn't like how the gameplay works rather than the combat mechanics.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
And also, Mr. Lawrence Ewing is here with us today. Lawrence, anything going on with you?
Nope. Nothing going on with me whatsoever. Just taking it one day at a time.
Well, today I was driving in my car and there was nothing on the radio. It tends to happen every once in a while. For me, it just seems like the radio stations just start playing crap, and I can't find a radio station that plays anything good, and it'll go on for maybe a month.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's because I get tired of hearing the same thing. So what I did was I put in a CD, if for those of you who know what those are. I put in the soundtrack to Pitch Perfect.
Oh yes,
And I am so ready to see the next one.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like, I see no point in them having a sequel, but sign me up. Like, I will be there. It's just to take my money. That's the whole reason to make another one.
But it's still, like, as long as it's half as fun as what the first movie was,
Right.
It'll be worth every dollar.
Yep.
Yeah, when Lawrence...
Especially for me, so I didn't pay anything for the first one. So
They,
I think Blister even gave me a ultraviolet code for it. So
Yeah, because I bought it so many times.
yeah,
I bought the ultraviolet copy before I bought it on Blu-ray, and then when I bought it on Blu-ray, it came with an ultraviolet copy, so I ended up just giving it to Gothrop.
Yeah, I think the first time I seen it was for free. I think Lawrence let me watch it, and then after that, I had to go out and buy it. Like, I thought there was no way the movie could be as good as what you had made it out to
I know,
be.
I love it.
I think I remember talking, like, we were trying to convince you that.
Yeah, I think because
yeah.
when we were talking about good movies, because I just figured it'd be too much like Glee. I think,
Right.
Yeah.
but it was great. It was a great movie, and I can't wait for the next one. And like I said, I don't see why, but I don't really care why. I'm gonna watch it. If nothing else, I'll get another good soundtrack out of the deal.
There you go.
I'm sure. I might download that one though instead. The thing is, honestly, what happened
Digital music.
I bought it on Amazon Music.
was this is no joke. I had downloaded all the songs that I liked from the movie on iTunes. And didn't think anything of it. And then one day, my wife was out. I think it might have been like a Black Friday thing or something like that. And she picked up the CD, not knowing that I had already downloaded pretty much the whole album anyway. But I didn't get the theme music or whatever, because I didn't see the point. But that comes on
I
the
agree.
CD.
Right.
Because she got like
okay.
the deluxe edition CD or whatever.
Yeah.
All the, I don't know, background music or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Those
Well.
are the ones I skip all the time. That's my workout mix. I'll listen to the Pitch Perfect soundtrack while I'm on the
I can't
electrical
say
at
no
work.
blame ya.
At the gym, I mean.
It's fun.
It's been a while since we've all been together, right? We had, and we skipped a week. Are we going to do anything with the multiverse? Maybe finish it up with one more item.
Sure.
We did a car in a universe or a vehicle in a universe.
Yeah.
I had the TARDIS and picked the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That seems like it might be fun. And Jeremy, what did you have
Destiny
from
Stargate
Stargate
Universe in the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars universe? Jordan?
I had the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs universe.
Yeah. Ending World Hunger. Lawrence,
And
what
I
do you got?
had the flying DeLorean
Yes, it
in,
has
in
to be.
Neverland.
Back to the Future 2.
Seems difficult without pavement. I actually need it,
I
but
don't need roads.
does it fly on water?
It should. It's not a hoverboard.
Yeah.
It's not-
They were flying it while it was raining, surely.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
seemed like it hovered more than.
But it comes
flew.
with the hoverboard because they keep
True.
that in the DeLorean, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, see, he's all set.
And a dog.
So we'll just finish this out. You take one thing with you, like an object, a tool
From our current
from
universe?
any universe. What
Oh,
would you take?
oh.
Yeah, either a tool or a weapon.
Okay.
Because I
From
say
any
tool
universe.
because you probably wouldn't need a weapon unless maybe fighting meatballs or something along those lines.
What is the universe that has the biggest spork?
The
'Cause
biggest spork.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
need. Universe in which Taco Bell has ruled the world for
You need a-
several
It's
years.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
You need a trident, a giant fork.
Yeah.
So Aquaman's trident from the DC universe.
No, from Anchorman.
From
Yeah. Brick killed a guy.
That did escalate quickly. Okay. So is that what you're going with? You're going to take the trident from Anchorman?
No, I've got to. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I would probably. I'm stuck in the superhero universe, so I would take something superhero-y. I think I would want the Green Lantern ring.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty solid.
I would even settle for Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern ring that doesn't talk to him; it just kind of beeps.
It's Morse code.
It's Morse code.
That's what it is.
Like, it doesn't beep.
That's a universal language.
It doesn't beep when he's about to get beat up in a back alley by those three guys, but all the rest of the time it lets him know danger's coming, so it's somewhat reliable.
That wasn't really that dangerous, though.
Yeah, it's varying degrees of danger.
Okay. If
Black
it's really
out,
bad,
yeah.
it's going to beep at you. If not, you're just going to get
Beaten
punched in the face.
unconscious to being destroyed. There's a line.
All right. Does anybody have one
Ring. Okay.
that they would want? I mean, Gotham could say lightsaber, but he could just pick one of those up at the local convenience store in his universe. So.
You have to build one.
Or you kill a Jedi and take him.
Just
Or you
kill a
kill a
Jedi.
Jedi. Right.
Or Gravis has like 8 on his belt. I could probably steal one.
Yeah.
Right.
What a disappointment Grievous was, though.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
What? Spider arms?
They made him awesome in that first Clone Wars cartoon that they did.
Yeah.
He was so intimidating for an animated character in those shorts, and then he gets to the
because he
film,
didn't talk. That's the biggest reason.
and he was so cheesy villain. He should have had a big handlebar mustache
Meh. See?
and
You
a
fallen
monocle.
into my trap.
It was bad.
Exposition.
Yes. Ha ha ha.
Oh, man.
Oh.
It was just a... Why did George Lucas make all villains more comical? Or just every character more comical in the
don't know.
prequels? I don't get that.
I don't know. It was a mess.
I agree.
Oh. Well,
I'm trying to think of something good for mine.
Yeah, me too. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I was going to say, since I'll be in Neverland, the lightsaber would come in handy because
It
they all
would.
fight with swords there, and I could just...
cut through them.
Cut through a lot of younglings.
Yeah. No, I was going to be on their side.
Oh,
I'm fighting Captain
okay.
Hook. Unless it's Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time, because he's pretty cool.
He is really cool.
I feel like I should watch that show, but
Once Upon a Time.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Are you caught up, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like they threw in the Frozen stuff, and I thought, oh, come on, but it's good, and it even looks good. I don't know if you've seen the Frozen film. I've only seen parts of it when the kids are watching it, but there's this big snow monster, and they make it CGI on the show, and it looked great.
That's cool.
I was really surprised.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's pretty neat.
Okay.
So is lightsaber your official answer?
I
Or?
don't know yet. That seems like a good one, but I also have this flying car, so I could just, get some kind of long-range weapon and just take care of the pirates from the car if I needed to.
Yeah. But if they
The only
shoot arrows at your gas tank, that could be a problem, as you saw in Back to the Future 3.
I was gonna say back to
Okay.
that DeLorean has some weak spots. It's we're gonna have to armor it a little bit, but we're gonna take it to Neverland. But fortunately, all I have to do is imagine it with armor on it, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's true. All you have to do is avoid cannonballs.
Right.
Those are
That's all I need.
Just keep your distance. It's not like you're going to be taking at it. Like, that has no weapons on it. You don't want to take the DeLorean
I guess
into battle.
the weapon that I need is a fat kid that can turn himself into a ball and roll toward the pirates.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it. Gotham, anything for you? I mean, the Tesseract would be something that could be used. Renewable energy.
Go with the arc reactor. That's a bit more safe.
Yeah, it is a bit
Fortunately
more
for
safe.
Gotham, he's got destiny and it's got
Yeah,
weapons.
it's got weapons, so.
Yeah.
So
you could use that.
Maybe
You
just
need a
need-
close quarters weapon.
Yeah.
That way, like whenever you're off ship, you have.
Or if I get
something.
boarded.
Maybe you
Right.
need... I guess Destiny is the one that drops off all of the Stargates, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
they have seed chips.
Seed chips. Maybe that's what you need,
yes.
is you need another seed chip.
Yeah, that'd be
And
cool.
have like control over that, and you can drop off Stargates in the Star Wars universe.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I want... Let me know if this works.
Okay.
I want
it
the
can work.
computer system from the Matrix being able to just like, I want to know how to drive a motorcycle or fly a
Okay.
helicopter.
Oh,
and just
that
download it into
definitely
my
works.
head. Yeah.
I like that.
I want to
That's
do
good.
that.
That would be pretty
But
sweet.
I think I need the clothing shrinking ray from Mystery Men. Because the slave outfit is not quite small enough.
That's right.
The Leia slave costume is a little bit too big. Shrink it up.
Oh,
You know,
man.
you talk about Slave Leia and the outfit and Star Wars versus Star Trek. I was thinking the other day, 7 of 9. Are you familiar with 7 of 9, played by
Yeah.
Jerry Ryan? She could give Slave Leia a run for her money as far as attractiveness. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think that she could do it iconic wise. I think that Princess Leia is just too
that's always
iconic.
gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that Star Trek will ever have anything.
Star Wars Voyager was also on UPN, so nobody watched it.
Nobody watched it.
That's still a TV channel?
No.
No, yeah. See, it,
It
became
was then.
Oh, man.
CW,
It's CW
right?
now.
Yeah, it's part of the
WB and CW.
Oh,
and
yeah.
UPN
They
and
merged.
CW.
Okay.
Is there anything else though on the multiverse? There is any final
That's-
thoughts?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could deal with any of these I could visit you guys in all of your
Oh, yeah.
universes and
Yeah.
be comfortable. I believe. I like all of our choices.
It's pretty good.
Jordan and his practical choices. Like, I just want a car and a bunch of food.
bunch
I'm
of
good
food.
to go.
I know it's simple, man.
Now I can do whatever I want now. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, you never have to worry about being hungry. Okay, so this week Marvel had a big deal, and I want to take
big deal.
a minute just to compare it to DC.
okay.
Because previously DC it was a shareholders meeting, right? Over the phone, they announced all of these films.
Oh, I'm not even sure how they did it.
Yeah, it was just, hey, by the way, we're making these movies. Is what happened.
It's an off the cuff remark. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
don't forget, guys, check the third attachment in the email.
Exactly. So Marvel, they claim that this was not in response. They said they wanted to reveal a lot of this at
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, but they weren't quite ready, so they just thought they'd do their own thing. And what they did is they invited the press and fans and had like a mini Comic-Con
Yeah.
and just blew DC out of the water with their announcements. Or they had a bigger
Well, they
ordeal with
yeah,
it.
they made it an event rather
Yeah,
than
they did something special for the fans.
yeah, an email attachment.
Did you have any thoughts on this, on what had happened, Jordan?
On Marvel?
Yeah, or DC, how this went down?
I didn't know the specifics as to how like DC announced this stuff. I knew that like prior to them announcing things, like even actors who were like, for example, I guess they've already cast the guy who's going to be Cyborg, and
Right.
Cyborg is going to be like a cameo-esque apparently in the new
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, Dawn of Justice. I don't even know if it's a Batman or Superman movie anymore now.
I think the full title is now Batman v Superman: Dawn of the First Justice League trailer, or
Yeah,
something along
whatever.
those lines.
Yeah, whatever that
That's
may
the
be.
working title.
But like the guy who's supposed to be playing Cyborg in that, like I guess they announced that Cyborg's getting his own movie in
Right.
sometime.
4
and like,
years later.
yeah, and
2020.
And the guy was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like he didn't even know they were even writing this movie, and they had already. And I'm sure they had him sign a contract of like so many movies,
Right, but he didn't.
But he
was gonna
didn't
be
even know.
starring.
Yeah, so it's like it's very clear that at least I see it as the DC doesn't really have a grip on what they're really doing. And I think I remember seeing something, I guess the Wonder Woman movie is going to be in like the 1920s.
That's the rumor. Yeah, and they just lost me there. Like,
yeah, like
I'll probably wait for video.
the only way I'd watch it is if it was if it's really gods centric, you know,
okay. Yeah.
like
The
fighting
Greek gods.
Ares and
Yeah.
Zeus and stuff like that. Like then I'd be on board.
Like,
And
the
it just
thing of it
happens
is,
to be in the 1920s. Like they come to Earth twice.
This could be just why it's rumor, whatever. Joss Whedon had done a Wonder Woman script, and these rumors that are coming out now sound very similar to his script. But Warner Brothers has already shot it down once, so why would they be revisiting these
I
ideas?
don't know, because maybe this guy is directing 2 of the highest grossing comic book movies of all time.
Maybe that could be it. But then he's not gonna sign with these guys.
He won't, but if they can use as much of his previous script as they can without getting in trouble about it, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Or if he wrote a Wonder Woman script, he probably wrote it for them with some
Right.
kind of connection to Warner Brothers. So they probably own it.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing that worries me though is Goyer did a Flash script years ago.
I just
And
want
since
Goyer
they
to
love
stop.
Goyer so much,
Stop.
I don't doubt that they don't pull out his old script for the Flash.
Have you guys seen about Stephen Amell thinks that Grant Gustin should
Should have been the Flash.
be the
Yeah,
Flash
I've seen
in the
that.
movie too?
I like him.
Did you guys order your fuck cancer shirts?
No.
They sold them again for 48 hours.
Stephen Amell.
Oh.
He,
On Facebook, he's got.
he does a lot for try and help charities and different
Yeah.
things like that.
That's cool.
He'll have eBay auctions of
Yeah,
autographed
all kinds of cool
merchandise.
stuff. Yeah,
If you're ever on Facebook, I recommend following Stephen Amell because he actually does his page, and a lot of times he'll put up funny
he
stuff.
does Q&As and stuff all the time on Facebook, like
That's
video
cool.
Q&As and just all kinds of stuff. Always, yeah.
I'll check
Yeah,
that
he
out then.
does stuff with Twitter too. I mean, he's fantastic to follow.
Cool. Cool guy on a cool show.
Yeah.
Rare,
He
I think.
deserves it. I mean, I really think that he deserves all the success he gets because he seems to genuinely care.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was some Marvel announcements. Captain America. Now, for at least a month or so, there was rumors that there was going to be a Civil War story arc in Captain America, Robert Downey Jr. being involved and all that. And it's going to be the first movie that they announced that hadn't already been planned because Avengers 2 and all that was coming out.
Well, rattle off that list.
Well,
What
so
do we
they
have?
didn't want to steal all the thunder with the Civil War storyline. So when they announced it as Captain America and the Serpent Society. Did anyone see that? Yeah, that was the.
The working title.
Well, no, they just put it out there. They had like a logo and everything made. It said Captain America, Serpent Society. And I was like, really, the Serpent Society? You know, because they're all snake themed villains.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, trust in Marvel, I
Yeah.
guess, you know. And I don't know, I watched a show or something and checked the internet. An hour later, they were like, no, we were just kidding. No, it's Civil War. But I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they did. And I think it surprised them too because people were cool with it being Serpent Society. You know, they got a pretty decent response, and then they're like, no, it's really Civil
Well,
War.
so far Marvel hasn't really made a awful movie yet. Most of them, all of them have been either good, ranging good to great, I think.
Right. I'm not a huge Iron Man 3 fan, but I mean,
Yeah.
if that's their low, I mean, it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know? So,
People have already shown that it doesn't matter whether these movies are great or until they get a really awful one, people will go see every one of these movies.
oh, definitely. Okay, so the list goes as follows. Captain America Civil War will be May the 6th of 2016, followed by Doctor Strange, November 4th of 2016. Then we get Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which had already been announced, but I think they changed the date. It's going to be May 5th, 2017, followed by Thor Ragnarok. That'll be July 28th, 2017. We get a Black Panther movie, November 3rd, 2017. Captain Marvel, and they've said this will be Carol Danvers.
Yes.
It's July 6th of 2018. We get Avengers Part 1. What was it? Avengers Infinity Gauntlet?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War Part 1 will be May 2018. Then we'll get the Inhumans, November 2018. And then in May of 2019, we'll have Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Now, the Avengers, I had
That's-
heard...
That's phase 3 right
That's
there.
all of Phase 3,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd heard that the Avengers was originally... They were going to have 2 separate titles. So you might not want to think of this as a part 1 and a part 2. I heard originally it was going to be Avengers Infinity Gauntlet and Avengers Infinity War. But they decided to simplify it and give it... like.
And who's to say that won't change in
Right.
the next, 3 years?
Right, yeah, because 2018 will be the first one.
Yeah.
I like that they are doing these a year apart. Whereas DC, when they do their Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, there's going to be 2 years in between the films and 2 superhero films of characters in Justice League.
In
There'll
between.
be in between. There'll be Wonder Woman and Flash. Is that the 2 that's in between?
They
Yeah.
should be like 6 months apart.
No, it's Flash and Aquaman. Sorry. Or in between. Any thoughts? Are you excited to see a Doctor Strange movie? You know, you probably know enough about Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, he's not that interesting of a character, I don't think. But I like that Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know what Cumberbatch, he's going to be Doctor Strange.
Is it official?
Yes.
Because I had heard that a lot of sites were reporting it was official, but on the day they made this announcement, Marvel said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that shocked me too. I thought he was signed,
I thought he was too.
but
I saw on the day that it was still in negotiation, but I saw like a couple days later that it was closer or official.
right, because before this it was Joaquin Phoenix. Everyone just knew that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen.
As long as okay, out of those movies, Doctor Strange, I'm more excited about than like Thor or even the
Panther.
Humans. I'm excited about Black Panther simply because I don't think they've really had a black superhero as a lead in any movie other than maybe like Shaq's Stinking Steel.
Still,
Yeah.
from an actual comic book.
Yeah,
Because I was you got what, Hancock.
Hancock, yeah. And
And-
that was Will Smith, which he, not so much recently, but that was kind of in his, near the end of his prime of if he was in a movie, it was going
People
to
were gonna
make
go.
so much money just because people would
I
come.
think that one did make a lot of money, but it was terrible, so it kind of was the end of it.
Didn't get a
Yeah.
sequel. There's that, and then you can't forget about the Meteor Man.
Right. I loved Meteor Man when I was a kid. It was like, I can only fly 5 foot off the ground.
He's
I'm
scared of
scared
heights.
Does Osmosis Jones count?
Yeah.
he counts as both black
He's a
and blue.
Yeah.
Black and blue.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the idea of Black Panther. I think it'd be kind of cool.
he is the original black superhero.
Yeah.
He was the first one ever done. Then Falcon was the
Sam
first
Wilson.
African American
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay.
superhero, I believe. It's only taken him how many years to get
Yeah.
a solo movie?
Maybe Doctor Strange I think could be good simply just because of good CGI. If you have good CGI, you could probably make that movie really cool.
I think
And
it'll be really cool.
Yeah, I remember originally there was a few years back. There was a Doctor Strange animated movie, and at the time they
yeah.
were making that, they said that it would be next to impossible to make a Doctor Strange movie because of the special effects. And then just a few short years later, now we're finally getting a Doctor
Right,
Strange
but
movie.
even if you look like special effects now versus special effects then,
Right, that's what I'm
looks
saying.
so
Is like
much
that's how
better.
much we've
I mean,
grown,
it's just-
and they've definitely got the money behind them to do a Doctor
Yeah.
Strange
Right.
film.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Well,
exciting.
like what you in that wheelhouse of Disney, you've got Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and LucasArts. Like I'm
Right.
sure you've got some pretty good graphic designers there.
Right.
That,
Yeah, a good stable.
Yeah.
you got ILM.
So for those of you who don't know, Doctor Strange is a surgeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a car accident. He's in some kind of accident. He damages his hands. Can't operate. Searches the world for an answer. Turns to magic, mysticism, and becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. And that's that character in a nutshell.
Yeah. Protects Marvel Universe from hell and demons.
Yeah,
and
they said they're
stuff
going to
like that.
introduce more realms or other dimensions, parallel worlds, and all this. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are going to watch it. I love the fact that their little logo that they've made for it just looks like the original one they've scribbled on
Yeah.
the part 2 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I like that a lot.
I thought that was perfect for them. Thor Ragnarok. Does anyone care? No,
I thought the second
I
one was an
liked-
improvement
it
over the
was.
first one. So
I liked the
hopefully-
first one.
I like the first one. I like the second one more. I'm sure
yeah,
I'll like this one.
Yeah. Is it Satyr? Is that his name? Like the big devil? This is gonna... In the comics, it was followed along the actual mythology that this... I think his name's Satyr.
Mm.
This large demon comes and pulls a sword from Asgard, and it signals the end of time.
The whole Ragnarok is about like
Armageddon.
our beast that comes and starts Armageddon. But I want to put my foot down and say that I will not watch this movie unless Beta Ray Bill is in this movie.
He should be.
He should be if they're
He's
talking.
been teased.
Yeah, if they're talking Ragnarok, I would watch that because he's like Thor, pretty much. Like
He's worthy.
He's worthy to wield Mjolnir, but he's like a normal thing around, but his face is like this weird horse
type.
Yeah, it's this ridiculous looking thing,
Mhm.
and I would love to see that in a movie.
Supposedly he was on display in the collectors in one of the cages.
Oh yeah,
You just see him from the back or whatever. You can see his cape, I think they said.
Okay.
But yeah, they should include him at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the best way to do it, is in Ragnarok. Black Panther we talked about. It's exciting. They've already cast the guy, and he's going to be in Civil War.
Yeah, and that comes out long before Black Panther.
Um,
Which makes me think, like, how many stinking people are going to be in this Captain America movie?
well, it's
Like-
with it being Civil War. I mean,
What would be cool is if you'd see the people who are playing, like, Daredevil and Iron Fist and Luke
Oh,
Cage
I hope they do.
on the Netflix TV shows. Like,
If-
that'd be cool if they showed up.
if they're not in the Civil War, they had better be in the Avengers Infinity War.
I don't know. And I wouldn't be surprised if Avengers Infinity War was just Avengers currently plus, like, Vision and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and then probably the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, they did announce that
Plus
they're getting a
maybe
new
Nova.
team, a new Avengers team at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh, really?
They'll have a whole new lineup.
Okay.
People are speculating that it'll be Captain America and his side of the Civil War will be announced, and that then you'll see Tony Stark's side in Captain America 3. I think that Marvel... Well, I can't say that I'm too excited about some of these sequels. I think they did a better job announcing this than what DC had done. I think that there's reason to be more excited for Marvel because this is proven. DC is not
Yeah.
proven.
I'm excited about this because it sounds like the only two that are like sequels that I think if anything I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of over it is Captain America and Thor, especially Thor. But like that would have been those three movies, and I really don't think that Marvel wants to continuously make more Thor movies and more Captain America movies when they're trying out new things, and also you can't keep these actors in a contract that's going to last like 12 years.
Right.
Like no one's going to want to do that.
Well, and like Chris Evans can't stay in that kind of shape for that long. And
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's totally buff for the Captain America movies, and if he wants to make other movies, he's got to
Right.
be too hard on his body to go back and forth.
Because he is giving Chris Hemsworth a run for his money. I mean,
Well,
seriously,
yeah.
at least in the chest department, he is huge.
Well, I mean, if you have a personalized chef and trainer, and all you have to
I
do
know.
for several weeks is
Right.
just
If you-
work out
If
and
your
sleep
job
good.
is to be in shape,
Yeah.
And you're going to
shouldn't-
get paid $15 million to do this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the
Unfortunate-
Inhumans?
I don't know how it would work as a movie, but like they made Guardians of the Galaxy work,
Right.
and thinking of having a CGI. When I heard that you're going to have a CGI Groot on screen the entire time, I thought of like stuff from like the Green Lantern movie. Like even whenever you saw like Kilowog, like you were still just like, man, that looks just like it's clearly computerized. Like none of it looks even remotely real. It's too computery kind of.
Right.
And the Groot thing worked, and the rocket
Oh, yeah.
worked too. Like it didn't really, I don't know. it sounds silly, but it looked like it didn't look that fake to me.
You know,
Yeah.
the thing that I loved the most about Guardians of the Galaxy, well, probably not the most, but was
Second
Groot.
most.
Yeah, Groot. And how basically they said, look, DC, you can make a Swamp Thing movie. Like, you can make a Plant Man work. And they keep raising the bar. You know, and I like it.
That's like, like because of that, I think Inhumans may work. It's really out there and it's really weird.
Now, have you heard the rumors with the Inhuman storyline?
No.
Well, they're saying that the Inhumans are going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe's answer to X-Men.
Oh,
That
okay.
this is how you will have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Because there's a gas that advances them, mutates them, whatever, evolves them, and that there are even people that are saying that you can see the gas in the Avengers 2 trailer affecting a crowd.
Well, yeah. The whole thing of the Inhumans is that years and years and years, like beginning of time, whenever we were like cavemen, the Kree, who were the bad guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, they come and like abduct humans and do experiments on them. And after a while, they just kind of leave them be. And those humans continue to populate, and they become these Inhumans that whenever they're essentially mutants that at a certain age, like you bar mitzvah and you get sprayed with this gas, and then your powers come out. Mm-hmm. And like it's just a weird concept. Like Black Bolt,
and they've been hidden this whole time.
Yeah,
they have a superior technology to us. They could even have Kree technology. Who knows what they're going to do with this film version? But they've been apart from society, so it'll be similar to Aquaman or Wonder Woman in concept as far as what DC's going to attempt to do. But yeah, that's what they're saying, that this is going to be their fill-in for the X-Men franchise.
Oh, that'd be cool. Just don't make a Wolverine of it. That's fine.
Just everyone else is going to be Black Bolt. There's another little rumor that's floating around because I don't know if you remember, Vin Diesel had teased.
Yeah, that he's going to be Black Bolt.
Yeah, we'll see. Before he had to tease that there was going to be more than just Groot. And Black Bolt, for those of you who don't know, he doesn't speak.
Yeah.
If he speaks, it shatters everything, buildings.
Yeah.
Because that's his power, is his voice. So I think it would be interesting if Vin Diesel was Black Bolt and can't speak for the whole movie.
Vin Diesel decides one day that he wants to challenge himself as an actor, so he takes on the role of a tree that only says three words, and then he just has to say in different ways. So how does he raise the bar? He plays a character that doesn't speak.
I think it would be funny, especially if we get to the point where Black Bolt and Groot are on screen together.
That will be a riveting conversation.
Oh.
That is exciting.
No, falling back on rumors, there was a lot of people going into this big announcement, wondering about Sony. Because rumors have been circling that Sony's not doing so good, and that there might be some kind of contract negotiation over Spider-Man.
That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
They need to get Spider-Man back, and they need to get the X-Men back, but I don't see that happening.
X-Men's making too much money. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man they can get. Realistic, like...
Well, plus Fox is in good shape, and
Yeah.
Sony's hurting.
Right.
Sony's bleeding money as a company, because they have too many things going on.
I see... I would rather have Spider-Man, honestly. Like, I think the X-Men films that Fox is doing is fine. You know, I think they're doing well with it.
They're hit or miss.
Right.
More hit with Days of Future Past, but as long as they keep Bryan Singer, I guess they're okay.
Yeah, that's true. Just Bryan Singer stay at Fox, Joss Whedon stay at Marvel, David Goyer go away from DC.
Just go away. You know, you're always on Goyer's case, and
Because he doesn't do anything good. I would cut him some slack if he did one good thing.
I try,
Yeah, Blade was awesome.
but
Blade
it wasn't
won.
all him though, right?
And
It
Blade
was,
Trinity was great too.
He wrote all of them. He directed Blade Trinity.
oh, okay, that's what it was.
I thought he
He wrote all three of them.
wrote all three of them.
At least he's credited as the writer.
Which is funny because Blade is technically Marvel's
Yeah.
first big hit,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers did it for him. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
it was
under
New
New
Line.
Line,
Right.
but that always cracks me up when I think about that.
There's still a rumor that they can make another one.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I'm sure Wesley Snipes would be okay with that.
Well, he needs the money.
Yes, he does. But you're on Goyer's case a lot, and
I defended him with saying Blade, but he also made the second the Ghost Rider movie.
Oh yeah.
And
Did I ever see that? There was a second Ghost Rider movie.
Spirit of Vengeance.
yeah,
It was kind of like a reboot, but still with Nick Cage.
I don't even know if I'd seen that.
I didn't watch it.
But
I heard it was worse than the first one. That seems impossible.
Goyer,
I don't know, because that... I'm sorry, but there's a scene in Ghost Rider that is the best scene in all of cinema, and that's when he's laughing as he's changing into Ghost Rider. It's just Nick Cage being Nick Cage, and it doesn't get any better than that. Man.
Goyer insulted me, or at least from what I've read. Goyer
Did he tweet you?
He's offended me, and people like me. He said, when asked about the Martian Manhunter and the DC Cinematic Universe, I believe he said something along the lines of, "How many of you know who the Martian Manhunter is? How many of you have had sex with a girl?"
I've done both of those things, sir.
That's right. Hey, hold on.
But no, it's like, okay, I understand that you make movies, you're involved with the creative process. Why be so insulting
Right.
to people just for
'Cause
being
he's
a fan?
I don't
Let's
know.
let's go back in time 5 years and say, how many of you know who the Guardians of the Galaxy are?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
2 years.
Right. I'm just saying, like,
And maybe,
before the movie,
yeah.
few people.
I think that's just the biggest thing, is that Marvel has shown we take our tentpole characters and we make damn good movies.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can take any character, make a good movie out of it, and make money.
Yeah.
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 Just make it interesting, make it good.
Well-
and the problem with DC is that they
Warner
rely
Brothers.
on the character.
Yeah.
Or that's,
What would you say?
The biggest problem with DC is Warner Brothers.
Warner
Right.
Brothers.
They
That's
have,
true.
the biggest thing is organization.
Right.
Because I hate Warner Brothers with a passion. They make shows that are great, like on Cartoon Network. All the Young Justice and
Yeah,
Green
yeah.
Lantern, they were all great.
And they cancel them.
Well, they were off for 4 months at a time because nobody knew what to do with
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And like even the DVR said it was going to be on,
Right.
and it comes back on 4 months later, and my DVR doesn't record it because it said it played in October and it's March.
Well, what
It
bothered
played.
me was, when Young Justice was playing, I set my DVR to tape it. And then all of a sudden they changed the name to Young Justice Invasion. And so then all of a sudden I'm not DVRing it anymore,
Yes.
And I'm like, what the crap? So then I've missed 4 episodes, and you can't buy them anywhere to watch them. Like at that time, you
Right.
I
couldn't.
can.
Yeah.
It comes out
and-
Blu-ray in 2 weeks.
Right. So
Finally.
so then I was
Yeah.
behind 4 episodes that I never got to watch, so I never got caught up, so I never watched it, and it just sucks that
Well, and like season 1 and 2 were like back to back because
Yeah.
there was such a big break in season 1.
Yeah.
It was like supposed to play in October, and then didn't end up playing until almost March or April.
There was such a big break in season 1. I thought that it was season 2 when it came back.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's how big of a break there was.
Their most recent cartoon is Beware the Batman, and
It's already canceled. I
Yeah.
thought.
And it was a Batman show.
And it was good.
it was good. And like when they finally brought it back to show the rest of the season, they put it in the Toonami section of Cartoon Network like Saturday at 3 a.m. Yeah.
What the hell?
Really?
Yeah, it was playing because like I use Sidereal to track TV shows. And it was supposed to
Yeah.
play in October of 2013, and then it didn't end up showing any more until June of this year, June or July of this year.
And I
they
think
were
that my DVR didn't tape it again.
yeah, mine too, because
so,
they weren't new.
yeah.
They were playing in it was June or July at 3 a.m. on the Toonami section of Saturday night,
Yeah.
and then like 3 weeks into that, the last half of the season, they just played all of them at one night. All
Oh,
of them.
really?
All like the
One
last
shot.
6 or 7 episodes were on one night.
Oh, man.
That's
Like,
that's
We
the
just got to
organi-
get this out here. We don't know what
That's
to
the
do.
organization
Right.
that Warner Brothers has.
Right. It's awful. Like,
How can you do that and expect to make any kind of money? Like,
Well, and like Beware the Batman was a fairly dark show,
yeah.
and it was on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then like their other DC cartoon, Teen Titans Go, which is very kid and funny, is on like at 7 o'clock on Thursday nights or something. It's on almost. Well, I think it's like it's like 5 or 6:30 now, but it's on an evening time where more adult audience will be watching.
it's like what they do is they just take a dart and throw it at a board full of shows, and that's their lineup. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that one made it on Thursday nights now.
During this convention, Kevin Feige, he was asked, he said, are some of these dates in response to DC's dates? Like, are these movies strategically being placed? And he basically, what he told them was, no, we pick our dates everyone else has to deal.
Yeah, it's clear.
And I think they proved that with Captain America and Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
They hadn't announced Captain America yet, but they already had that date. And who backed down? Warner Brothers. Who needed to back down? Well, either one of them, but definitely Warner Brothers.
Marvel's already shown, like, May, July, November are going to be their tentpole months for a new Marvel movie. They're already showing that they're going to be giving you at least 2, if not 3 Marvel movies each year for the next...
What was Guardians of the Galaxy? It was August, wasn't it?
August 1st.
Yeah.
I mean, they owned August.
Yeah. They owned August until, like... They were consistently making money in movie theaters.
What finally beat them solid? Turtles took them out for 2 weeks.
For 1 week.
Yeah.
Was it
Turtles just one?
Because Turtles came out 1 week after, and it was number 1 for a week or 2. And then it was till the second weekend of September. Because it took it back.
Yeah.
The third week of August was back to Guardians. And then it was number 1 until the second week of September when some random movie.
Oh, Guardians. Did you guys hear that the soundtrack's coming out on cassette?
Yeah, it's going to come with
that's cool.
It's going to be a special edition of the Blu-ray.
Oh, you can't just buy the cassette?
I don't really doubt it. It's probably a store exclusive.
Okay, I just thought,
I saw
who
it
has a
online.
cassette player?
Right. Yeah. I'll
It
get
comes
it
with
not be able
one.
to listen to it.
I get it coming out on vinyl. Like, people still have record players. People still
Yeah.
go out and buy
I
record
got a
players.
boombox somewhere.
Somewhere.
I don't have anything that would play cassettes anymore.
But I think that's funny that the movie is big enough to get them to produce a cassette.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is pretty crazy.
And I saw the packaging.
It looks like a mixtape, right?
It looks like just awesome mix volume 1. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like a blank cassette that you would have bought at the store or whatever and filled in the titles.
But I think it's going to be a special edition for one of the next store exclusive or just a special edition.
Right.
Okay. We talked a lot about Disney's cinematic Marvel Universe, and we talked a little bit about DC. Sony does not know what to do with Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man film, the first one that they rebooted,
Amazing Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man, was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I did.
Maybe not fantastic.
Okay.
It was-
I really like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I think he's made for Peter Parker. I just think he's good. I like him.
You're not a fan.
I don't like
Really?
him.
Why?
My problem with him,
What's your problem?
my honest problem with him is I thought he was too handsome. Like, I thought Tobey Maguire looked
Yeah.
the part.
Yeah.
Well, that's
one.
the thing is it's hard to believe them, as a Peter Parker. But I like his snarkiness. I like
Yeah.
I can buy the wittiness from him, and I can buy the Peter Parker
like-
attitude. I think
I prefer him as Spider-Man, but I don't like him as Peter
Right.
Parker.
Well, that's
Yes.
what I mean. I think he's a good Spider-Man.
Because, okay, and, I shouldn't just drive home the comics, but it is a comic book film. Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, went to school with Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
She became a villain, he became a hero. She didn't know. She fell for Spider-Man. When he unmasked, she was disgusted to find out that it was Peter Parker.
right.
Like, that's
Yeah,
the type
like-
of loser that he was.
Right.
Like, one of the things that I liked about Spider-Man, especially like growing up, and I liked even about the cartoon, was like, as Peter Parker, he is geeky and he's not liked really. Like, he's a loser and he's lost in the stigma of he's just a geeky kid that no one likes and he can't
overlooked.
he's completely
No one
out
would
of it,
miss.
and he can't get out of that. But whenever he's Spider-Man, he can be like whoever he wants to be. Like, that's what I liked, was like, yes, he was Peter Parker, but like I felt like his real persona comes out whenever he's Spider-Man, because he can be snarky, he can be little quips and be silly and funny and smart and all
Confident.
that stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
but because no one can judge him that way. But as Peter Parker, he felt that way. That's what I liked about it. But Andrew Garfield doesn't do that. Andrew Garfield is like
Handsome.
he's a good-looking, tall, in pretty good shape.
but think about it. You're making a movie. You're not going to get
Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to cast one of us to play
super nerdy.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to get Michael Cera as Spider-Man.
Yeah. I get that.
And that's my only complaint about Andrew Garfield. I think that he does fantastic with the jokes. I mean, I even like the jokes in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't care for that film as nowhere near as much as the first one.
Yeah.
That whole exchange with
There was
Rhino at the end where
there
he
was-
just waits to start shooting at Spider-Man while he talks to some
Yeah.
kid.
There was just
No.
too much. I mean, and
Yeah.
they tried to do too much with it, I think. I don't know.
But they're hurting. They're losing money. They want to do, I've heard, a female Spider-Man movie. They want to create a cinematic universe with all-female Spider-Man character team. Spider-Women Avengers, if you will. Which there's not really that many of them, and there hasn't really been any of them on film. Felicia Harding, and that's it.
Yeah, but for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, barely. She's barely in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They've just introduced Silk. She's a new character.
Yeah.
Her story is Peter wasn't the only one bitten. The spider bit this other girl right before it died, and then she was kidnapped and locked away all this time. That's why there hasn't been a Spider-Woman running around. But she goes by the name Silk. So she's a brand new character. They could maybe use her.
They're doing this new thing where, like...
Cloak and Dagger, they could use Dagger if they're going straight female.
Well, there's... Well, this is... And it's weird because, like, Spider-Woman is not specifically associated with the Spider-Man kind of family or mythos.
But it was more of like a pop
yeah
magazine type thing, right?
Yeah, and I don't know like if the character Spider-Woman is like linked to Marvel or is it linked to Spider-Man with Sony. Like I don't know.
I don't know that it's known. I don't, somebody somewhere who gets paid more than.
But like so they've announced that there's going to be a Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4.
But Andrew Garfield's done.
But Andrew Garfield's only under contract until 3.
Right.
Like he's doing 3 and that's it. He's
and they want to do a Sinister Six movie.
Yes.
An all-villain film.
They want to do that female lead and then a female-led Spider-Man.
Now, see, I heard that the
and a Venom / Carnage one.
The Sinister Six, they'll recast Spider-Man for Sinister Six. And I'm okay with that because they don't know his secret identity. So if the film's really about them and he shows up and stops them, that's all fine. But if they're going to show him out of mask, I think it's going to be ridiculous.
True. I don't know. I just think it's... I feel like it's everywhere, and it's just crazy. And what I would love to see, honestly, is since there are going to be 4 Spider-Man movies, like I would love to see Spider-Man die in the 3rd one, and the 4th one be a new Spider-Man.
You want Miles Morales?
Like something like that. Yeah, I think that would be good. I like the idea.
Or do you want Ben Reilly? Like
that would be cool too. Like the clone kind of.
But that would still be Garfield.
Yeah, I'm okay with doing stuff like that. Like they talk about how, like in the current Marvel comics, Captain America is no longer Steve Rogers; it's Sam Wilson, who was previously Falcon, who we've seen in the Captain America movie, and they've talked about it. Chris Evans, of as far as like, would you be okay with after like the 3rd Captain America movie? Would you be alright with being done with Captain America and someone else be him? And he's talked about it as a real possibility, and I'm totally fine with. Like, a new Captain America and show more movies about that. Like, why not? See if it'll work.
I would like to see Sebastian Stan take on Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
To be Captain America after this.
Maybe that would be the thing.
And then...
I laughed whenever they announced Civil War, because I was just like, did they just give up searching for Bucky? Like,
yeah, I kind of wondered about that, too. Like, what's Bucky's story going to be in all this?
Yeah.
And also... the comic books for Civil War was all about secret identities because they wanted you to be registered with the government and work as a government employee, but you had to give up your secret identity, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't really have any secret identities. So they said what they're going to do is it's going to be more along they don't want to answer. They don't want to be forced to answer to a government.
Maybe that's when like S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back and they have to
because they've taken out S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's like, well, now we've got to get these guys under control.
That's what it is. The reason why we have Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shitty show is so.
Have you watched season 2?
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
It's so much better in season 2.
Really?
I would way rather give me S.H.I.E.L.D. over Gotham any day.
Have you been watching Gotham?
I have. The last 2 have been better.
Exactly.
The last 2 have been better.
The little Bat Baby, he's not
Baby Bat.
Stupid, annoying, and pointless anymore. Like, he's at least doing something productive in his land that I still don't care if I see or not.
Right, yeah. Enigma is a little... I don't know.
Enigma's hilarious. Because they, instead of just making a smart... Just kind of like a smart sociopath, they've just made an autistic man.
He's just as so a villain. Weird.
That's just all it is.
And the relationship with Penguin and his mom, I can do without that. Like, I don't like the actress who's playing his mom, I guess.
It's just always that character, though.
It's weird.
I don't like.
I like her. She's funny.
I just don't.
I mean, that's a weird
take Penguin out of the
character,
show. I don't even care. I don't find him that entertaining. He's just that guy's face is annoying.
Penguin?
Yeah, the actor,
Yeah, I like him.
I think
I
he's
do.
that great.
I like him. I just stuff around him I don't like.
Oh.
The way they've done the show around him, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Is it because he's gonna coincidentally say, "Oh, by the way, I'm alive" at the moment that Gordon's being arrested for murdering him or whatever, and just silly.
It's coincidental.
Very, very coincidental.
I think it was kind of neat though. That, I mean, the repercussions of that are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I did like the
timing, I guess. I don't know. They
I knew
hit you
I
over the
saw that
head and
coming.
make things so obvious.
Yeah, I mean that was coming. You know that was coming.
I did love the end of that episode though. Whenever Bullock and Gordon are going at each other, like the end of Rocky.
Yeah.
That made the whole episode for me. I really think I laughed for a good 5 minutes because of that. Just that last shot.
I did like the Spirit of the Goat story arc, and I liked the.
It was kind of creepy.
Was it Viper? Was that what it was called? The
Yeah,
early stages
the
of
prototype
Venom.
of Venom. That was really cool.
Yeah, I liked both
And
of those.
I'm sure it was a combination of CGI and practical effects, but whenever the first guy who takes it, the whole thing is as soon as you take it, you get the super strength and everything, but it's actually eating away at all the calcium in your body. So
You drank milk like crazy.
yeah,
Milk and cheese.
it
And cottage
it
cheese.
just destroys your bones. So there's a part where a guy's holding something up and he's gonna an
ATM.
ATM and he's gonna throw it at him. But he holds it up, and then all of a sudden his jaw just unhinges,
Yeah.
and then his entire body just starts crumbling underneath it, and it looked awesome.
That
just
was pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm one episode behind.
Oh, well,
right
spoilers.
Now, so.
I just watched that one last night. I think or Friday.
You're
night
two
morning.
behind then if you haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw the beginning of it
Spirit
where
of the
he
Goat was
steals
the
the
last
ATM and he drinks the giant thing of milk
Yeah.
in the store, but that's the last thing I've seen.
Yeah, I watched Spirit of the Goat last night or the night before. I can't remember. But
I thought it was
I
kind of creepy.
Did you guys?
One thing that really annoyed me was just practically was how was the Catwoman chick or whatever? How'd she get to Bruce Wayne's house? Doesn't he live out of the country or definitely out of town? How did a straight rat
What,
with no
what else? She
transportation
doesn't have a home. She doesn't have a job.
walk
What else
all
she
the
gonna do?
time she
She's just gonna start walking several miles.
to steal one little thing and go back to town?
Right.
She's. I like her as a character. Whenever she speaks, I think she's a good actress. I do.
Right.
I think it's just an example of they don't know what to do with that character.
Yeah, I
There's
think
so many that they just don't know what to do.
The casting was fine. It's just they.
The casting was fine, but the character doesn't really make much
It
sense.
just doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Just should have just left her out.
Why do you have an
Left him
11-year-old Catwoman
and
who's actually Catwoman?
yeah,
Doesn't get a stand up right ever.
And what scares me is if Arrow was a wonderful example of this. They start that show and you're introduced to Green Arrow and then his family and his bodyguard, and the end of that first season really is just him and his bodyguard, and maybe is it Felicity with them
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Like
She come
that's-
about halfway on.
Yeah. But at the end of that, it's just those three, really. And then season 2, they pick up another person. And then I'm sure this season...
Right.
they'll
You don't have
pick
to
up
cram
some-
it all in at once.
Yeah, you don't have to make 7 or 8 characters in the first season, because that scares me, because second season, they're going to be like, oh, hey guys, the thing for season 2 is, here's this villain who's going to be in the show now. But now you're going to have to balance every other person.
Have you guys been watching The Flash?
Yeah.
Did you see the Nimbus, the Mist? His last name was Nimbus.
Yeah.
Kyle Nimbus.
Yeah.
Did you know that he has been cast for Gotham? The actor
As-
as Mr. Zsasz.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So he could be reoccurring villains on both shows.
yeah.
That's funny.
Man, the first 2 villains of Flash, those dudes just looked weird.
Oh, the Weather Wizard.
Well, no,
And-
okay, he wasn't so bad, but the
The way he would
multi-guy-
shake his arms, though.
Yeah.
And he just came off creepy to me. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But he was just creepy weird.
The multi guy, I thought he had dead eyes, man.
Oh, yeah.
He just looked
He
just
did.
looking at him, you're just like, ugh.
Especially that scene where he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. What did you think of Prison Break though? Hitting Flash.
Um,
You know that.
Schofield.
Yeah, Mike. What's his name? Dominic Purcell.
Yeah,
Is going to be the other one.
oh, he is.
He's gonna be
He's gonna
Heatwave.
be Heatwave.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I swear.
I liked it all until the last of that episode. Whenever he is wearing the parka,
Really?
yeah, I didn't like that simply because I don't know. Like, I feel like Arrow and even the Flash, with his costume, have done a really good job of taking what in comics is clearly goofy costumes, and they'll continue to make them that way, simply because people are okay with it reading comics, but in TV you want to make them more realistic.
Right, have it more practical, usable.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like everything about his costume, except for that parka,
But
was
speaking
okay.
of,
The parka didn't bother me. I mean, it kind of made sense because it's the cold gun,
Right.
but just
I
a
don't
silly
like-
nod.
I don't like Roy's outfit in the new season of Arrow. He just looks. I don't know. It's too red. You know. I mean, it's just. I don't know.
it's really
the red with
bright
the black
red.
just looks awful.
It doesn't. The thing that bothers me is doesn't he have laces down his legs like
Leather pants or something.
like Black Canary did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the new Black Canary.
But no, Roy's got the laces on his pants like Black Canary, and who doesn't want Black Canary?
I just don't want Laurel.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
want-
sure.
You don't want Laurel to be Black Canary?
I don't
I
like
know-
that actress anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm okay with her.
No, I should she changed her chin.
Yeah, something's gone.
Well, I
on
thought she
with
just
her.
lost weight.
No, she got something done to her chin.
Oh,
Did
really?
she really?
I saw it, somewhere. She put an implant in her. Made
Oh,
her
that was
chin
stupid.
look a little. Yeah, she looks different. So I remember because I saw her episode of one of her episodes of Supernatural recently. It was on TNT or something.
I think she looks better then. Than
Yeah,
she
her
does
chin.
now.
Well, in season 1, she did it in season 2, in between
Oh,
seasons.
okay.
Because season 1 of Arrow, her chin's different.
Huh.
And plus, she's kind of Lana Langing me, I think.
Lana Langing.
Yeah.
She's Lana-ing. But she's with Ted Grant now, young Ted Grant, young handsome Ted Grant, the boxer, and he's training her, and that's from the comics. I don't know that she'll make a good Black Canary, but it's interesting. You knew she was going to be Black Canary.
I do love
since-
that on her first
since episode
outing, she
one.
just got the crap beat out of her.
That was
Hard.
nice. All bruised up.
Like, yeah, it's not that easy, Laurel. Like,
He was on a hellish island for 5 years.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't like her so much. Is because in every situation in which they're getting ready to go fight like the big bad, she's always just like, "I'm coming too. I can really help.
I can really do something. Give me
Yeah.
a gun. You took the bullets out.
Didn't she watch Smallville? Lana gets knocked out on every mission.
Yeah.
yep.
Watch Smallville.
She should just be happy in which she doesn't have as many concussions as the people in Smallville did.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, every girl
That's why
got
no one
knocked
can
out.
recognize Clark and Superman. They all have brain injuries.
Even in the smallest crime, they get knocked out somehow.
Yep.
That's true.
Oh, a brick fell on my head again.
It's like a
There are
referee.
sure a lot of loose bricks around here.
In Smallville's from the meteor shower.
Yeah.
They get knocked out more than the officials in the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh man. Did anybody watch Constantine? I guess that'll be the last thing that we talk about.
I've not.
I watched the first episode and
Yeah. I like him.
yeah, I think he's a good actor. I think he's good for the role.
The
But
pilot got leaked. They played it at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. It's a different pilot than what aired. Like they
for
had
the
to
good or
change
for
a
the
lot.
better, or for the worse or for the better.
Well, the thing is, it depends on how you look at it. He's more of a jerk in the original pilot because in the end, he manipulated this girl. The original pilot, in the end, he set up the situation to manipulate this girl to help him. Mm-hmm. In the reshot, it was all done to scare her off. So he manipulated her for her own safety, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because what happened is the actress quit. Or what they got rid of the actress.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I don't know if they
I
didn't like
liked
her, she didn't like them. But she's very much, the character was very much, you had to explain everything to her. She was very damsel in distressy in that first episode. The second episode, we get introduced to Zed Martin. And, of course, she's a comic book character. The Hellblazer fans will be familiar with. And Constantine doesn't have to lecture her. I mean, he doesn't have to spell everything out for her. She's so like she sees
competent.
visions.
Okay.
And she's already introduced to this world. She's already been having visions. She can touch people and feel their emotions. She's been painting Constantine since the end of the new pilot because she can't get him out of her head, and then she runs into him on the street. So she clearly knows that there's something more out there. So it works better. And there's some of course, some flirtations between the two of them, but
I just want
they don't just go for it
Yeah.
the first time they're together.
But you gotta have something in the show that like gives you an excuse to explain
Right.
what's
Exactly.
happening.
Especially in a pilot, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to explain something in a pilot.
Right.
And there were a lot of things I felt
But
like in that
it's
pilot
more
that were
natural
never
conversations
explained.
with Zed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because while she knows some of it, she doesn't know everything.
Right.
I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. There were so many things in that pilot that were never explained, and weren't explained that well. If that like, I don't know why are they driving around in a taxi? Why is it that
Okay.
specific taxi? Why is it like I don't get that?
Okay.
Like how much experience does he really have? Because I have no idea. Like if he's new at this or if he's been doing this for decades. Like I don't know that. Okay, he summons a stronger demon to fend off this other demon, and instead the demon takes the child
Right.
as payment, and his soul is not sold to the devil.
Well, I think that he was more sentenced to hell for this offense. That he had
Okay.
cost this girl her soul.
Okay.
And so he just assumed that because of this
Yeah.
awful thing he had done, he was going to hell.
Yeah, like I don't know what exactly he did at all.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know like why an angel is just casually like hanging out with him. Like why is he so special? Like I don't get any of that. I just felt like stuff was just thrown in.
Well, see, here's my thing. Whenever I heard that they had cast an angel and he was going to be his guardian angel or whatever, I thought, heaven should not care about John Constantine because he's that big of a piece of scum in the comics. They don't really care about his best interests. And one of the things I liked is in the pilot, when Manny shows up, he says, I can't be slumming it with angels. It's bad for my reputation. Like when they're in that hole. And he tells him, so's being in a psych ward or whatever. And they have a back and forth about that. I don't know that Manny's on the up and up. I think he's trying to manipulate him. Which you can't know because in the second episode, you have no Manny and you have no Chaz.
So like the driver guy is not even in it?
He's not in it because he has outstanding warrants wherever the case is, so he doesn't go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he is.
I can tell you this about him. As he said in the pilot, he's his oldest mate. He's best friend. Chaz decided to become a taxi driver because Constantine would always come to him and be like, hey, I need your help with this. And it would cost Chaz things in his life. So Chaz became a taxi cab driver because it's more flexible.
Okay.
So he drives Constantine around in the taxi, or he can take fares or whatever. I don't know if they'll get into that in the show or whatever, but he could still make money. He could still do something and travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Just leaves the meter running every time they go on an adventure. Constantine's like,
The-
they get back to town. He's like, okay, that'll be $450.
yeah,
The end of the series is just Constantine trying to do little
Settling
favors
his
for
bill.
people. Yeah.
He has to go around and collect money to pay Chaz off.
It's the big reveal is just Chaz is a big bookie. He's been manipulating Constantine the entire time.
here's the thing with me, and I did not read Hellblazer. I am familiar with Constantine. I've read his new DC stuff. I've searched the internet, read stuff about Constantine, who he is, who he really is, what's changed. Manny gets stabbed in the chest with a power line in the first episode. And then later he's fine.
Yeah.
And they don't get
Yeah.
into that at all.
It's
like,
He says I'll explain it later. Right?
they specifically, and he's like, meh, no big deal.
yeah.
I'll explain it later.
Like, are you, what is it? If you're confused, if you're not confused, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And I was like, might
That
have
makes
just
me
a
feel
tad
really-
bit of exposition.
That makes me feel really happy as a viewer. Like you're
Right.
intentionally confusing me
right.
because I will come back
Because
to a show
magic.
I will come back to a show if I'm intrigued and I want to know.
They're
but-
promising a payoff. It's
Yeah.
the lost thing again, You can't give them everything. You can't answer all the questions, or else people won't tune in to get the answers.
But like for a
You need to have 2 questions for every answer.
see, I just view a pilot as a short kind of its own confined story that may leave a couple of questions unanswered, a couple at the end, so you have an idea of where the show may go. And it's just about trying to win you over with the characters and the story and the setting and what happens and things like that. But this, I felt like I don't even know what he's doing. Is he just like chilling after this episode? Is he going to all these individual places that she dropped blood
Well,
on?
that's the second episode. He picks a spot from the map to go to. But the first episode it set up Nergal, who's the demon that took the little girl. In the comics, he eventually will possess Chaz.
Okay.
I mean, so there'll be an angle there if they
And
go
Chaz
with
is
it.
who again?
He's
Shia
his best
LaBeouf.
friend. He's Shia LaBeouf from the
Okay.
Keanu Reeves film. They've been friends for a long time. He's his oldest friend because he's the friend that keeps living because everybody else gets killed off. Everybody close to him.
That's the worst kind of friendship.
One of my favorite parts from the official pilot was that Constantine manipulates that guy. He tells him he's gonna turn him in for murder. Because did you see the first one?
I know. I just saw the NBC one. I didn't see
The
leaked-
NBC one.
I didn't see the leaked one.
Yeah. No.
Whatever aired is what I saw.
Okay. Well, when he has that guy at the college, and he tells him that the cops are still looking for that girl's killer, and he said, "You and I both know that it wasn't no man." And he said, "Yeah, but the cops don't know that, and you don't have an alibi for that night because he won't help him."
Yeah.
And so he tells him that, and so then he helps him, and I like that he was very manipulative.
Yeah. But I don't know. I may watch the second one. I don't know.
The second one is much of an improvement over the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll give it. I should. I try to give every show I watch 3 episodes, and I decide then whether I really want to continue to watch it or not.
It's more ghost. It's helpful spirits and someone's manipulating them.
I don't, maybe I will because I really liked the beginning of Supernatural.
Yeah, that's there's a very supernatural feel.
Yeah,
to it.
like whenever they're first finding out stuff, I enjoyed that. It's,
right. I did too.
Yeah, it's now whenever you know everything, and it's what do we do now?
That's my thing is NBC. I think they have a worse cancel rate than Fox. I think that'll be the fate of Constantine.
I still
will be,
truly do believe it has something to do with the production value. I think it always just looks hokey and cheap, and
That
Yeah,
brings
that's
up something I wanted to say. It's NBC. We're 6 episodes into the Blacklist, and this week's going to be the fall finale.
really.
I saw the preview after it said, next week's the fall finale, and
Good
I'm not sure how
grief.
long it's going to be off, but even like my episode tracker thing says there's going to be one on the 11th, but NBC said this one tomorrow is going to be.
So they
fall finale.
just taken off for Thanksgiving and coming back
Well, that's
for a couple episodes before Christmas, or
the
Yeah,
fall
do-
finale.
do
Usually,
they-
I mean, it's still the beginning of the year.
well, I was going to ask you, are they saying it as like a winter premiere in December, maybe, hopefully?
yeah.
If not, that's waiting like a good 3 months almost.
Yeah. Well, I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be off for 8 weeks at least for
Peggy.
for the Agent Carter.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 parts, or is it
It's an
8?
8-part, yeah.
8 part. I can't remember if it's 8 or 10.
Oh, so that's not going to be a show. It's just going to be like a miniseries?
Yeah, it's 8 episodes,
Okay.
which makes sense. It's,
I mean, how much time do you want to spend with the early days of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, that's why I was confused. Like, I didn't know if that was going to be
They
an
might have
additional
originally
show.
wanted that, but after the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D. was crap, maybe they decided to shorten it. I don't know.
well, I think they're just going to shorten that. Yeah, but
Maybe the
Shorten Peggy Carter.
first season of S.H.I.E.L.D. sucked because they were trying to lead up to...
Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Captain America helped S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot, in my opinion, that whole storyline.
yeah,
Has
there
helped-
was
helped
all the
develop the
random
show.
stuff before they had a direction.
Yeah.
Was kind of iffy, but then once they got into S.H.I.E.L.D., the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or the S.H.I.E.L.D. going down stuff after Captain America,
Yeah.
it was a lot better.
That was good.
And this is as good as that, if not better.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up, I guess. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll be out.
On town. We're just going to be wandering around talking to people.
Yeah,
Just waving.
Hey,
that's how we're going to promote ourselves. Epic Groupcast on the streets.
on the
Pork
street.
burger sale.
Man of the people. Men of the people.
That's what we're going to do.
An epic pork burger sale.
We're doing an epic group cast pork burger sale to raise money for
Awareness.
Comic-Con.
We need Epic Groupcast awareness.
We do
Come
need
on.
Epic Groupcast.
So we're gonna have a porter sale in Albion, Illinois.
That's
There we
right. Where everyone is.
You know,
The heartbeat of America.
exactly.